How you doing? Dark night out tonight. Moon's coming up real late. I don't know what all these small towns are going to do with these businesses that are closing in these strip malls. Hey, KP. Just partying on this dark highway. If you're a deer, don't cross the road tonight. You're going to get whacked for sure. You'll probably see a lot of northbound traffic because of tomorrow. I actually am going down to visit some friends in Ann Arbor, which I haven't done like in forever. Gonna party all night. I haven't done anything like that in, jeez, I can't even tell you in 35 years. I bought Daisy a chicken, rotisserie chicken. She's all conked out with tryptophan sleeping on my leg. That's what I say. I'd probably talk about. Two of the guys are pilots, so that's how I know them too. So we'll probably be talking about flying stories a lot. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Close calls. Do you remember that? Oh, thank you, Ashley. Same to you. I got some good interviews today. One of the interviews, of course, this drug talk I got to cut out, right? So what I decided is not even bring it up. But sometimes it comes up, and honestly, and I'll upload this interview first. I'm just going to let it go up and take it in the ass. Because there's too much good drug talk to edit. If somebody says I smoke weed and that gets me dinged for the whole video, well, that's something else. But, it started out with a comment about weed, and then I thought, I'll just edit it out. And then it got into some pretty knowledgeable drug talk, and I thought, I'm not editing this out. So you'll get the real McCoy out of the chute. And then later on, I'll do an uploaded, edited version. Not tonight or tomorrow. But don't bother watching it because you're going to get the good one right out of the chute. Young kid, 20 years old. But I thought it was very informative, and it's just worth it to me. Oh, okay, Ashley, that's good. I think you'll really love these interviews on these homeless people today. I think so anyway, but well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't really think I do too much. And I think my MO is going to change quite a bit because I don't think it's because of that, because of what I've done. It's just my own personal health issues, and I guess I want something more fulfilling, and I don't want to, I'm getting it from all ends, stalkers, YouTube, it's just got to where there's more bad than good. Oh yeah, I think you'll really like. I mean, I think, and I'm wrong all the time. If you told me I'd like you to upload a video that'll go viral, or I'd like you to upload a video that'll really be watched, I couldn't tell you what it would be. To be honest with you, there's some videos that I've uploaded that I wasn't even going to upload. I was just kind of dinking around or doing something else, and 20 minutes is going to go by, so it's like, well, I'll just upload it for the hell of it, and it ends up being a viral video. Honest to God, I cannot predict, but I don't really care about that anyway, which is why I think, Ashley, you'll really appreciate this 20-year-old's interview. Bright kid. Man, I hadn't had it quite sum that up to me that way, and it's just too much good info to not let people hear it. So that'll be the first one uploaded. Now, what I've been doing is, re-uploading old videos absolutely sucks. First of all, I don't like listening to my own voice, and secondly, I'm cutting out part of what I think is arguably the most interesting part. What drugs you're on, what got you there, how much does it cost today, would you like to get out, blah, blah, blah. And, it's just not as fun. In the old days, which weren't that long ago, you could talk about those things as long as you weren't promoting an illicit lifestyle, which I was never doing, but that's kind of changed, so. Oh, okay, I think you'll really like this one. Oh, but what I was going to say, I'm glad you said that, is because I hate uploading prior interviews for the reasons I stated. But when I re-upload them, I upload them in 1080p. The original videos with anybody, for any reason, I upload in 4K, which take forever. And because, as an example, this first interview that will come up was pretty lengthy. It's 4K, and if you don't render the videos ahead of time, like process them through an editing program, it takes forever before it to be viewable on YouTube. So I don't know if I got 4 or 5 interviews. I will upload them all, but all bets are off on when it's going to be, when you're actually going to be able to view them. I'm sure I'll be long gone and on the road before all of them are up tomorrow morning. But just remember, the first interview that comes up with a young kid, I think is super interesting, and be curious what you think about it after you watch it. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of consequences cardiovascularly, that's for sure. I can name you all sorts of people: Michael J. Fox, Robin Williams, Kurt Gibson from the Tigers, Ozzy Osbourne. It does a lot to your heart and your brain. Yeah, I appreciate it. Now, I thought this kid is really worldly for his age. But like I said, I even have a very fast uploading speed that I pay extra for, but even at that, it takes a while. I'm in the midst of a good conversation. I mean, I'm not really sure. I'm always surprised sometimes how long some of our conversations are, because basically these people want to talk and I'm fine with it, and I'm just kind of like listening just like you are. I ask the beginning questions and then they just kind of run with it. Hey, David. Yeah, it's a new world, that's for sure. Sure is, man. But that place, I don't know if you guys ever get up to Traverse City, Michigan, but if you ever get a chance, I like those wedge salads that come with blue cheese. That's the best wedge salad I've ever had. And the sushi was excellent as well. And the service was great, and you could see the ambiance was beautiful. Big windows. Looks like you were in Washington, D.C. or something. Just a very nice setup and great everything. I would definitely go back there. What I did is I went to get some money out because I knew I'd be doing interviews, and I just plugged in sushi, and it showed it like 0.8 miles. It's like, oh, I'll try that. Oh yeah, absolutely. You would love it there. A lot of vegetarian dishes. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I saw some other entrees that came out, and they all looked great. And it's just the ambiance is it's got everything. 5-star food. Not one glitch. The bacon was crispy. The salad was chilled. The blue cheese was chunky. The sushi was good sushi. You didn't get 9 pounds of it for $4.99. I had an excellent waitress. And like I said, the ambiance, you feel like, there's a science to this, right? You go in a little place and everybody says they had good food, and the ceiling's a foot above your head. And even though the food's good, you're cramped in. This place is all first class. If you wanted just take somebody for a birthday or something, you can't find a better all-around venue, I don't think. That's the best restaurant I've been to in a long, long time. I give it a 10. Yeah, really good. I told Ted texted me while I was there and said, where are you at eating up there? Actually, I got Ted some spinach dip, some broccoli salad, and a bottle of white wine that I'm going to drop off. He's working like a slave, of course. I told him Firefly, and he said, yeah, that place is really good. I'll tell you another good place in Traverse City, Smokin' Porter. It's good. I mean, to me, I don't really care what it costs when the food's that good. Actually, I thought it was super reasonable, even on the low side. The salad was 11. I think it should have been like 17. And the sushi was 13, and I think it should have been 19. Usually it's the other way around. It's like, this food sucks. I'll tell you one thing, you guys. The cops are out big time tonight. Actually, just west of Kalkaska, the state police have got like a whole line of state cop cars. It looked to me like they were trying to catch people speeding coming out of Kalkaska. Now you see this cop's got these people pulled over right here? They're really enforcing not going over into the other lanes, a $400 ticket. Which I don't blame them. Same with broke down vehicles, any of that. Yeah, I don't speed like I used to. So I don't use it, I'll tell you another thing too, Ashley. This place I was at, I've been around a while, right? And I've been doing this, and it's a mixed bag. I mean, some places I go, and people will recognize me, whichever, rather they didn't, to be honest with you. Or they'll come up and say, oh, are you the good guy from YouTube? It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, yeah. Hey, you big asshole. I mean, how's it feel going around, showing the downtrodden and making money? It's like, you don't really know what you're talking about. First of all, in the whole scheme of things, I never really made any money. I'm probably still in the hole, so, get fucked. Get the hell out of my goddamn face, man. I don't put up with too much of that shit. I mean, I'm a nice guy during nice times, but I'm not putting up with a bunch of bullshit. And then other times, people say, hey, you the guy doing YouTube? It's like, yeah, I am. It's like, oh, good to meet you. It's like, hey, I think that's really great. You're nice to people and you're putting awareness. Like, yeah, okay. I'm not saying you've got to agree with me for me to like you, but I mean, there better be some civility there, or we're not going to get along. When I was out in Billings, Montana, I'm giving I always pay people. Not that that's any great deal either, but it's a small stipend for them taking time and sharing their lives with me. So I'm sitting there, and it's mostly Native Americans, and we're having a good time. And the this lady comes up to me, and I saw her over like it was a truck giving out food to the homeless. And it's some Christian outfit. And I'm in a pissed off mood anyway for reasons I don't recall. And I get out there, and I'd already done 3 or 4 interviews, and she comes walking up like she owns the place. She said, "Oh, so you're the guy exploiting the Native Americans." It's like I'm not exploiting. She says, "Yes, you are." She says, "You're giving him money for alcohol." I said, "Well, I'm giving him money, but maybe it goes to alcohol." She said, "No, it's all going to alcohol." I said, "Well, are they supposed to not cut grass because someone pays them for cutting the grass because you're afraid?" I said, "Hey, why don't you get the fuck out of here?" She said, "Well, why don't you quit pointing your camera?" I said, "Hey, we're out in public. Why don't you get the hell out of here? I didn't ask for you over here. You came over here with this bullshit Christian horse shit you're jamming down my throat. If you were a real Christian, you would never approach somebody like that. You don't know what you're talking about, and quit anointing yourself like you're going to heaven because you just gave out some crappy old deep-fried shitty turkey. Now beat it, lady." Yeah, I'd like to do that. I was thinking today, but what I was saying, I get off track a lot, but when I was at this place today, here's the thing. I've had this happen before. Whether it's a restaurant or this place. You go on the internet, I look up homeless shelters, and I've been there before. Actually, Mary, I think that's where you told me a lot of tents are set up that I didn't find, So anyway, you go on the internet, it shows closed till Saturday at 6 o'clock or some shit like that. Or noon or something like that. So I thought, well, I'd just take a drive-by anyway. So I did. And I met a guy, and we got talking, and I said, "Is this a homeless-like thing?" He says, "Yeah." He said, "They open at 6 o'clock every day." I said, "Even today?" He said, "Yeah." So I thought, well, I'll hang around then, and that's how I got my interviews. But anyway, as you're approaching, when they're going to open, an hour and a half ahead of time, the employees start coming in. And they have like this big gate you go in where they park, and here I see a lady come in a BMW, and she pulls into the back of the lot. And by that time, I'd already interviewed a couple people, and she came walking up to me, and I thought, oh, here we go. And there's a sign out front, they don't want people congregating, and there wasn't very many parking spots. And she said to me, she said, "Hey, I want to ask you right off the bat, if you'd like me to move, I will. I noticed that sign there." And she said, "No." She said, "What that means is like we just don't want people congregating, in the front." She said, "You're fine." She said, "Can I ask what you're doing here?" It's like, "Yeah, I have a YouTube channel, and I go around." She said, "Oh, that's great." She said, "Good." She said, "We're glad to have you." She said, "I'm just kind of checking. There's nothing else." That 5G, man, there are those problems. Be a psychiatrist hardly anywhere, even if you've got insurance. Yeah. Anyway, Ashley, I'd like to. I wouldn't mind doing work like with the homeless. We don't really have that in West Branch. Like a couple, I would do it. It's kind of the same type thing as what I've already been doing. Oh, have you been there? Oh, but anyway, this Harbor Light, I'm going to put a little, probably 10-second video up there and just put a link to it because, here I find out these guy gets some money willed to him by a cousin. The other cousins challenge it. He comes up to Traverse City thinking he's going to get a check, finds out it's challenged, runs out of money getting up here, and has no way to get back home. And as it turns out, Laura, year-old talked about, and which is why I'm not going to edit anything out that he said, but this place to me sounds like, wow. They do everything for everything. They cook. was on, how I perceived Traverse City and the homeless. Up until today, it wasn't really favorable, but in listening to firsthand knowledge and people that are experiencing their care right now, I'd say this place is like heaven on earth. All the employees too, when they were coming in, they had to pass me from where I parked. It's like, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? They chatted with all the people. It wasn't like, get the fuck out of the way and we don't open till 6. Why don't you come back then? Nothing like that at all. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, thank you. No, that place is absolutely excellent. I would definitely donate money to them, that's for sure. Yeah, that's a good idea, Frederick. I could do that. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good topic. Yeah, that's right, Ashley. Yeah, I love Toledo. Have you been over to that Keg and Nail? I think that's what they call it. Over there along the river. Have you eaten dinner over there yet? I love Toledo, by the way. I had spent a lot of time there. I had a couple of girlfriends there. I went to Monroe Community College, and a lot of people around Toledo, they could get Michigan tuition rates. I did a lot of flying around there. I went to Wassee in Ohio a million times. I still go back there and reminisce. I love Toledo, the history. I miss Red Wells. I love the Toledo Zoo. Yeah, I love everything about Toledo. I love the school too. It's, it personifies blue. Oh, okay. I remember when I was going to that community college, we used to go to this movie theater down there. I think it was on Alexis, and they had reclining chairs, like it was like space age. It was so great. I mean, Toledo's got its, like all Rust Belt cities. You can't hold them to the standard now of the standard, like, of your parents. Toledo's big, too. It's huge. Frogtown. It was named that because it's so marshy. The early settlers just said it was a place where frogs lived. Yeah, no kidding. And if you're down there and you look at like these, these construction projects of like, as an example, I-75. Oh my God, what a nightmare. It's not just like you're redoing an expressway like we're at now. This is I-75. It's like everything's elevated like, 200 feet in the air as it goes over these marshy areas. It's got to be so expensive. Tale of woes. Yeah, hold construction. But I think part of that is because, it took a while to get federal funding, because there's no way a city in the size of Toledo could afford to do that. I mean, that I-75 project they were doing last year, just before you came down into the city, it's like, you look down, it looks like a mile, and you see houses, and then you look to your right, and there's houses there too. It's like all the extra stuff you need. I mean, if Toledo was just marsh now and they never built, and you were going to build a new city, I don't think anybody would fund creating that infrastructure to go through that swamp. That whole area is like that. Toledo all the way up through LaSalle, Monroe. It's all low. Point Mouillet, Southeast Flat Rock. Oh, do you really? Oh, that's cool. That's a cute little park they have there. I mean, Toledo, for a city that size, has a beautiful skyline. Oh, do you, Mommy Bay? Oh, no kidding, huh? Have you been to that Keg of Nails? Go over there and get that fish and chips. It's good. That's the best fish and chips I think I ever had. Everything's good there. I had a lobster roll there. I wonder why Red Wells couldn't have hung in there better. Because people don't like roast beef anymore. And the zoo it's a legitimate world-class zoo. Yeah, I like Cincinnati. Beautiful skyline. Great. Going in late at night or not. Beautiful. Well, maybe that's just a location there. It's right down there. Yeah, if you look it up, Harbor Light. Yeah, that's what they call it. It seems to me that may be all over now. I think that's the one that Kim went to down around Canton. I thought it was Harbor Light. Petoskey's cool, but it's too busy for me. I mean, I know why people like these places, but I wouldn't want Hilton Head, South Carolina, same way. You can keep them all. If it wasn't for Leelanau County and like today what I did, I'd probably never go to Traverse City. I mean, nice is subjective, right? I'd rather go to East Tawas where nobody goes there. You know, you're just out there with that cool landscape and nobody there. Like I said earlier when I was eating lunch, people with money, they like the bays and the lighthouses, but when the sun goes down, they want aged steak, sushi, wood salads, good pina coladas not made with a mix, good tequila without concentrated lime, and they want to have a good time in a nice room and not get robbed and mugged when they leave. And Traverse City and Petoskey offer that. I was talking to the guy, I got a coffee. I stopped in the bookstore for a little while tonight, and he didn't agree with me. That's because he's not old enough, but I've learned as I've gotten older to appreciate paid parking. And when you're a community that can afford to charge people to park, that speaks volumes. And it kind of translates into nice, desirable, and a fun place to be. Time parking in a place like Traverse City or Petoskey, there's a reason for that. People want to be there, and they want to be there for all the typical reasons of anybody would wanting to be anywhere. Good food, culture, low crime, you feel safe, clean water, not a bunch of shit laying all over, and there's nothing wrong with wanting that. Yeah, San Francisco. Here, one of their biggest problems in super nice areas downtown is people defecating on the. California is another example. It's a mystery to me. Yeah, San Francisco's got a huge problem, big giant problem. Frederick said 65 and older about they're gonna die. That is. But on the other, right on, Jackie. Yeah, well, the darkness won't last long. What do we got? About another 3.5 weeks, and then the days start to get longer. To me, that time clock with regard to sunlight works out just perfect. If the days were getting shorter going into January, I think I'd kill myself. But they're not. They're already getting longer by the first of the year. It's just a nice thought to ruminate on. Wow, Jackie, no kidding, huh? And I got another freestyle rapper tonight to rap, kind of like Lacey did. Hey, Rita, how you doing? Well, very shortly, within the next year, this out in the middle of nowhere, 2 exits to West Branch, 212 and 215, and they've been trying to get people to get on one and get off at the other since the beginning of time. And this new Myers is being constructed with a new gas station. So maybe it's finally going to happen. Hey, Ray. No country for old men. Hey, Tammy. So here's our new Myers and new gas station. I know I'm officially old now. I think everybody has their brights on. Oh, thank you. Same to you, Terry. Yeah, I know the feeling, Ashley. Wonderful West Branch. Should be a train coming through any minute. Well, you guys, I think I'm going to sign off here. I got a bottle of wine for a buddy of mine and a spinach dip and broccoli salad and some crackers. And I was going to sign off when I got home to upload my videos anyway. So, hope you guys have a good night tonight. That guy turned right in front of somebody. Made a U-turn. And I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow or not. All depends how it goes. Not everybody wants to be on camera. It's KY, Jelly, and Turkey. Good night, Brian. Good night, Terry. Same to you, Tammy. Good night, Rita. Have a good night and have a good day tomorrow. All right, Mary. See you later. Thank you, Jackie. Same to you. Twister is happening.